the age at which you make this discovery. There is somebody who made a deep statement. He said there are two important days in life, in the life of every human being. First is the day you are born. Second is the day that you discover why. So when you discover your why, it brings meaning to your life. So remember, the key to life is to live it in a fulfilling manner. And to live a life in a fulfilling manner is to live a life of purpose. So even as we wrap up, I want to run you through the methods that we have discussed that you can use to discover what your purpose in life is. We said, number one, focus on your God-given tool. It can be a gift or a talent. If you've identified what your gift or talent in life is, or it could be a career that you've picked up along the way. Gift, talent, and career, we discussed, is not in themselves purpose, but these are tools that should be used for the fulfillment of purpose. Secondly, we looked at anger. Anger management is a critical issue for most people. A lot of people don't handle the emotion of anger. They are handled by the emotion of anger. But if you can discover the thing that constantly gets you angry, because we are not all angered by the same thing. So if you can pay attention to that issue, that item that almost always gets you angry, that could be a pointer to the problem that you are born to solve. And identifying the problem that you are born to solve may mean identifying where your purpose in life is. Thirdly, we discussed another method of passion. What are you passionate about? Just like we are not all angered by the same things, even in the area of passion, we are not all passionate about the same things. That's why it's important to give your passion attention. If you can study the thing that you are passionate about, it is a pointer to your purpose. Then we moved on to yet another method where we looked at connecting the dots of your life. Connecting the dots of your life, we were talking about the experiences that you've had in life. Every human life is unique, with unique experiences, good and bad. But those experiences, if you can look at them critically, combine them, look at them, connecting the dots of your life, it is a pointer, because here in this method we discussed that you are saved in order to save. So there are certain experiences that you go through in life just to come and help other people at some point, not to go through, or after going through, to help them with the ability to go through that particular experience. So connecting the dots of your life, another important method that we looked at. Then we moved on to looking at paying attention to your design. We said every product is actually designed according to its function. The design of a product is not necessarily determined by its maker, but it is determined by its function. So we said if you can pay attention to your design, and by your design we looked at, yes, your physical makeup, but also most importantly your emotional and your personality makeup, because we all come with our own unique personality and it's difficult to change your personality. So the most important thing is, after studying your personality, check which purpose would fit your personality. So that's the method that we looked at, which is paying attention to your design. Then we looked at another important method, which is getting feedback from people. That was method 6. Just to hear what other people say. We said in this method that the purpose you carry on earth is meant for other people. You yourself may not directly even benefit from this purpose. That's why if it is meant for others, then get feedback from them. They are the ones to be blessed by this particular purpose that you carry. Now, as we look at the final method, I want to encourage you that you see in life, you should never look down on yourself. The fact that you did not apply to be alive, you just found yourself part of this program that God created called life, and God included you, that means you matter. And that's why I want to encourage you. One of the things that I tell myself all the time Because one time I used to be like many people that I've seen in the Christian circles and in many other religious groups. We like to talk about great men and their achievements. When you ask me, I know a lot about people in the Bible and what they did. James, Joseph, David, Peter, Paul, powerful men of God, powerful women of God, and amazing works that they achieved. But one time God himself challenged me and he said, yes, I appreciate the focus you have on these people, children of mine who've served their purposes in their generation. But guess what? Their time has passed, they are dead, they are gone, and I'm proud of them. But as far as your generation is concerned, who do you think I am counting on the more? You or the people in the Bible? And that question challenged me, and I realized the answer was, it is me. Now, as far as my generation is concerned, between David and myself, God is counting on me more than he is counting on David, because David has already served his purposes for his generation and he's gone. And now the time is for you and me to serve our purposes. So this is why when God knocks on your door, may he not find you just busy commenting on the works that Joseph did, busy commenting on the works that Paul did, but may you be inspired by them and now swing into action and do the works that you have to do, so that you don't die a spiritual historian and a spiritual commentator who just made the name commenting on the works that other people did. Remember, as far as this generation is concerned, God is counting on you more than he is counting on Mary in the Bible, than he is counting on Joseph in the Bible, than he is counting on David. They have done their part. Now is the time for you to do your part. And how do you know the part that you need to do? It is by discovering your purpose. So quickly, let's wrap up with a final method that you can use to discover your purpose, and that is asking your Creator. Asking your Creator. Behind every successful product is a proud manufacturer. When I look at a human being, when I look at myself, when I look at you who's listening to me and watching, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or TV, I see a powerful combination of systems. I always say, if there's anything I've come across that just shows me how systems can be coordinated and powerfully combined to operate in an effective manner, it is a human being. A human being is such a powerful combination of systems. Think about it. When this life on earth started, God only started this life with two individuals. We can say with one couple. But today, the world is boasting of a population of well over 8 billion people. But God has never come back to create more human beings. Why? The couple that he first created, the two individuals that he first designed, he designed them so well with inbuilt systems that those systems up to today are functioning. They are working. They are reproducing. From that one couple, over 8 billion people have come out, and we have even lost millions of people, or billions of people have died. So the system is so effective, it works. So you are such a powerful combination of systems. Look at yourself. You are intelligent, you are smart, you are able to communicate. How can such an organized system or an organized combination of systems surely be an accident? I don't believe you are an accident, because you are too organized to be an accident. Secondly, even if you are an accident, I'm addressing those people who just doubt in the existence of God. Even if we were an accident, how can there be such a repeated successful accident? I mean, how can such an organized accident be repeated over 8 billion times? So listen, there is a God behind you. There is a Creator behind you. You are a product. You are a creature. Somebody is behind your creation. Now, if that is true, then you have to rush to that manufacturer who happens to be your Creator and just ask him, why did you create me? This is what we call prayer. Prayer is communicating to God. Listen, every human being has this innate belief in a superior being. Now, we live in a world that has a number of religions. We have a lot of religions, but guess what? Every human being, regardless of the religion you belong to, believe in the existence of a superior being. Now, because we have so many religions, we have a lot of different religious practices which are not the same in religious groupings. But there is one practice that almost every religious group admits and have adopted as something powerful and effective, and that is praying. All religious groups pray. Prayer is not a reserve of Christians. Go and find out. You'll be shocked, actually. Other religions perhaps even emphasize on prayer more than Christians. The Muslims will tell you prayer is so powerful that you can't afford to do it once a day. They do it 5 times a day. The Hindus will tell you prayer is so powerful you can't do it once a day. They do it 3 times a day. Christians will tell you prayer is so powerful you can't do it once a day. You do it all the time. So everyone admits in the power of prayer. Prayer, I also want to admit today and share with you, is a method you can use and rely on to discover what your purpose. You just go and ask your maker. Because I didn't apply to be alive, I found myself in this thing called life. Tell me, why did you include me? Why did you not go ahead without me? Because you could still not be stranded. Why did you decide to include me? And guess what? You will get the answer. And when the manufacturer speaks, manufacturers speak to purpose. There's a scripture in Jeremiah chapter 1 verses 5, and here is what it says, that before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. And guess what? A lot of people get confused. What is it that God knew? Is it my name? Did you know that not every parent was inspired by God to give their children the name that they carry? But guess what? Even before your parents could name you, God knew you. Now, what kind of knowing was God talking about here? I want to tell you that the knowledge that God meant here is actually your purpose. In other words, what God meant is, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew that at one point I would need you. That's a subject of function. I knew that one day I would need you for something. In other words, your purpose in the mind of God was already known even before he could come and form you in your mother's womb. So your purpose, therefore, is older than you. So if God knew your purpose, in fact, your purpose is the reason why he was motivated to come and form you, then don't be shy about it. Go and ask him, why did you create me? I would like to find out from you, what is my purpose? And I love the way manufacturers name things. For me, I say manufacturers are the best name givers or name deciders. You see, when you allow a manufacturer to give you a name, because some of you, the name you have, it's because of the experience your parents went through when they were carrying you. Because we people have various reasons and things that we use to decide the name that we give our children. It could be the experience your parents went through. It could be during labor, the experience the parents had. No, I suffered for this child, therefore I will name this child this name. So some names, parents were not really inspired by God. But if you allow God to give a name, it's something interesting. God is a manufacturer. And you see, all manufacturers have a unique way of naming products. You know why I call it unique? All manufacturers name after function. And I agree, the best way to name a product is to give it a name that reflects its function, that reflects its purpose. That's why the one who made the phone had to call it a phone. Because what's the purpose of a phone? It's to phone. A phone phones. Sometimes you make statements like, why didn't you just phone me? Okay? Because a phone and its function is to phone. So a phone is named a phone. It is named after its function. When the manufacturer names, they give a name that is related to the function. Now let me take you to God, and you will agree with me that every time God was given an opportunity to name, he does not name anyhow. He names a product after its function. Yes, Mary and Joseph had the privilege of bearing a son to be named Jesus. But guess what? God did not leave the naming of the child to Mary or to Joseph, he made sure that he named the child. And here's how God mentioned the name. He said, "You shall call him Jesus, because," now here's the reason. So when a manufacturer names, they'll give a name that is tied to the function. He said, "You shall name him Jesus because he's going to be the savior of the world." So naming a product after its function is the best way to name. And this is why, if you can allow God to just talk to you and tell you why he created you, he will tell you something related to your purpose. So method number 7 is simply go to God in prayer. Ask him, why am I here? Why did you create me? Why did you include me? I know I've started life, I'm already this old, but maybe I've never taken the opportunity, the chance to come to you and find out, why did you create me? I just started life. I do life based on what I see my friends do life. I copy others. I think I copy life from social media. But today, pause and reflect and go and find out, God, why did you not ignore me? With all the things you've created, how come you included me also? What is it that you would like me to fulfill in your agenda? And trust me, God will answer. The Bible says that when a child asks for bread from his parents, they cannot give him a stone. Or when they ask for fish, the parents cannot give them a snake. And then the Bible goes on to say, if you who are evil know what good gifts to give your children, how much more your Father in heaven? In other words, you cannot ask for purpose from God and receive something else. So even as I wrap up today, I just want to encourage you, find time today, go into your closet and just ask God, why? I am going through frustrations. I'm not enjoying my work. I'm going through a lot of things. Today I want to find out, God, why did you bring me on earth? Why did you give me life also? And guess what? The answer you get is accurate, and that answer is your purpose. So the final method to use is to ask God in prayer, what is it that he created you for? I would like to appreciate you all for being committed to this series, and I appreciate the feedback that has been coming through my inbox about how some of you have received tremendous insights that have led to the transformation of your own life through this series. I want to encourage you to keep listening to it until you discover your God-given purpose. Insights continue, and next week we will have another speaker who will bring yet more insights, because as Christ for Life, we are committed to sharing insights that will help you live a balanced life. Thank you so much, and I want to pray that may God help you and show you what your purpose in this life is. And as you die, you should die fulfilled. That's my desire, to die fulfilled. I want to appreciate you all. Thank you so much, and God bless you. We'll see you next time we meet. Thank you so much, and find time to tune in next week as Insights Friday continues. Shalom, shalom.
The Christ for Life Insights program, providing spiritual insights on family, business, and every